Can I actually be perfectly candid? Well, I think like it's been like, hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hello, my name is Eilish.
And I'm Jake.
And
I think this is the first time on this channel, isn't it?
I think you are in like maybe like a smidgen.
On the phone.
Possibly, yes. Nonetheless, it's lovely to meet you. Thank you for being here. Today's video is actually really random. After this little introduction, you're gonna go back to the start where I'm just getting ready and chatting shit, and then I get stuck on topic, so I have to recruit Jake in to help out.
To be interesting.
It would be really appreciated if you could leave a like, or you could subscribe to the channel, or you could leave a comment. The engagement would be very, very appreciated, to be honest. So yeah, please do that.
Let us know what you think of our varying backgrounds as we go through time. This is, of course, referencing the future. So unless you watch them in reverse order in the future, so this would be in your present.
Oh, in the weeks leading up to leaving Dubai, I think due to stress, like my skin's been really bad. I don't think you can see it too much because of the ring light that I've got here, but there's like a little bit here, there and everywhere, and I'm hoping that it starts to clear up. And I also got my eyebrows tinted today for like the first time in ages, and I'm actually pretty happy. Like the last time I got it done, I did not enjoy it, but there we go. So firstly, I need to show you this piece of equipment. Like, I'm just gonna turn it off. Look at the difference that makes. Like, how crazy is that, the difference? I'm gonna show you what it is that I've got. But it's basically this teeny tiny little ring light. It's by a brand called Gym, and you just turn it on here on the back, and it's got this white view, white light, and then you can change it to, wait, no, that's the brightness. You can change the brightness, and you can also change it to like a warm orange. But I just thought, you know, like, because I don't think this is very great, like this is not very flatter and lighting. Like, I'm looking a little bit, my eye bags are really out here, but then obviously adding this in, and it's so easy, it's so compact, it's rechargeable. I love that. Okay, let's get into putting my makeup on. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna put a mirror up here so I can see what I'm doing. But I guess let's get ready with me for an afternoon adventure in Dublin. I guess I'll take you through kind of the whole shebang. Like the last video you saw, if you watch my last video, was me in the airport before leaving to the UK. So I'll give you an update of what's happened. I'm just putting some sun cream on. It's a little bit sunny today in Dublin, but anyways, basically we went home and I took bank holiday weekend off for the first time in ages. Like, I usually forget that bank holidays are a thing, because like I think you don't really have a work schedule when you're self-employed, and it's not something I think about. But I took this one off, and it was a really nice. Caught up with most of my family. I went to a football match with my dad and brothers, and it was actually really good. I had a really nice time. And then earlier this week we came to Dublin, and we are staying here basically with Jake's brother and his fiance, and Jake's brother and fiance are getting married this year, so it's her hen do tomorrow. So that's the reason we're in Dublin. We're there for the hen do. Well, I am here for the hen do, but obviously we're staying with them in the meantime. So the way that we've been working so far, and the way that we are going to continue, obviously they are working, so we're just working through the day whilst the children are at school, and then in the evening we've just been catching up, and it's been so nice. This is basically what I wanted. Like, I wanted like a more normal routine where like after work wasn't spent scrolling on TikTok, doom scrolling, and just like being able to catch up with loved ones. And because it's Friday afternoon, and Friday afternoons are usually the time that we take off work, and we're gonna go out on a bit of an adventure around Dublin. We've got no idea what we're doing. We've made no plans. I think we're gonna go to the cemetery because it was recommended and it's not too far away. We can walk it. So I'm quite excited. I might vlog a little bit of like our day out as well, because I think that would be nice and fun. I've not really put any makeup on in a while as well, but it's just I'm just looking a little bit looking a little bit sore, to be honest. I'm not sure what kind of content to make, to be honest. I'm basically just going to talk here. This is, I guess, a chat you get ready with me. I'm going to talk about what's on my mind, I suppose. But yeah, like, I really don't know how to go about it, what to talk about. I'm at a loss here. I should probably get out of a loss because I need to chat. At some point, I'm not sure whether to do like a what I've packed to go traveling. I'm not sure whether that's something that people would want to say. Like, I don't know if people want to say travel-y stuff or just fitnessy stuff. All of the health and fitness stuff I have planned, and that's going to be going ahead as usual. But just like other stuff, you know, like what we're getting up to. I think this is slightly better. The sun keeps coming out and then like the face keeps going really white. Like, I'm not too sure what I'm doing here. And Jake keeps popping out the background, bless him. So maybe the logistics of working remotely, I'll talk about that. I'm just going to talk about whatever comes to my mind. So basically the way that we plan things is that the most important days for me to be somewhere kind of like quiet and like able to focus for long periods of time are check-in days. So essentially what we've done is made sure that we are like in somewhere, or we're not basically not traveling on check-in days, so that I can like hole up, get ready to go. Like, we're not going to be doing that's going to be able to be continuously reliable throughout, you know, like that part. Like, there's going to be no traveling on those days. And then aside from that, we're basically traveling on days that are like random. It's different each time, obviously, depending on what kind of mode of transport and when the transport was available to change locations. And other things are quite easy to do, kind of like on the go or like in between. Things that are like coming up with content ideas, scripting content ideas, replying to client messages, doing stuff on Instagram, all of the admin. These kind of tasks I'm feeling like are just easy enough. These are the stuff that I would do at a cafe in Dubai, so it's the stuff that I can do in a cafe anywhere. But we'll update you as the time goes on and how things are going. And we're not actually traveling that much. We're pretty much going to be staying in places for a period of time to allow us to build some kind of routine. And interestingly, I feel like this is quite poignant, but basically obviously routine is thrown out the way. I'm actually quite excited to show you how I get on balancing health and fitness whilst moving around, because I haven't been to the gym now in like a while. Me sessions before I left Dubai were terrible. Like, I was having a really terrible time with my fitness. I'm sorry about Jake there. Like, I'm gonna have to like move. Poor bugger. He's got headphones and he can't hear us. I'm hopefully not bothering him too much. But basically, I feel like, you know, when people do true crime and when people do Get Ready With Me's and all of that stuff, and they've got like a cat or an animal in the background, Jake's just my like cute little thing that's hanging around in the background of the video. Yes, so my gym sessions before I left Dubai were terrible, and like I haven't been to the gym since. I've done about 1 run per week, and I just want to show like my fitness. I'm very, very confident that nothing's going to happen to me fitness. I got very strong before I left, and I'm confident that consistency matters. Like, don't worry if you go on holiday for a week or 2 weeks, or you're thrown out of routine for like whatever reason, you moved house. Don't worry about it, okay? It's actually going to be so fine. I'm not sure when I'm going to go to the gym next, but I brought my running trainers, and basically I think that my training is going to kind of become a lot more running than it has been, which I'm quite excited about, because ever since the start of the year I've just been on Run Talk, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but like, you can run if you want to start running. I strongly believe in you, to be honest. Before I was good at running, I couldn't run for 50 meters without being out of breath. Like, genuinely, it would get to like 50 meters and I would be in a world of pain, honestly. And what I did was I joined CrossFit first and foremost, but before I joined CrossFit I started training more CrossFit. And the beauty of CrossFit is that it's everything. So you did a little bit of everything. So there was always a little bit of running included. In most workouts, most warm-ups, there was like 400-meter runs, which was really easy to help build it up, you know, because it was long enough that that's hard, but short enough that it's not the hugest of commitments. So I definitely think circuit training is such a good way to kind of build that up, like run and then do some weight training and then run. And before that though, I used a skill mill, and I would just try and get like, basically I'd try and get to like 100 meters, and then I'd try and get to 500, and then I'd try to get to a kilometer, and no pressure. Like I'd run and then I'd walk and then I'd run and I'd walk, and it wasn't that embarrassing on the skill mill, because like it can be a little bit awkward when you're out in public and you know, and you're like running and you, I think that's a good way to start. But anyways, sorry, I'm blabbing on a little bit, but you'll catch me running a lot more. I'm gonna make a lot more stuff to do with running, because I really enjoyed it in lockdown. Like I really enjoyed it, but I kind of stopped running when we got to Dubai, because I don't really like the air or the weather for it in Dubai. I run not for pace, not for any reason. Like I don't run to perform, I run to enjoy it. Like I run because it's actually just like really nice, it makes us feel good. So it didn't really make us feel good running in Dubai, so I didn't run in Dubai. But we had a run around Dublin a couple of days ago. It was just a little like 3.5 kilometer thing, and I had such a nice time. And then diet obviously is going to be a little bit of a crazy one as well. I'm going to do quite a few what I eat in a day, but I'm letting you know that my body isn't going to change too much. My activity is going to be sporadic. I've trained for a long time now. I've been consistent for a long time now. Sometimes I've been crazy consistent, gymming 4 or 5 times a week, or training 4 or 5 times a week. Sometimes, like this month, this past 4 weeks, I've done sweet shit all. But look at my body, and my bum hasn't disappeared. I haven't suddenly gained a crazy amount of body weight, because it's about going with the flow. And if you are kind of like on a fat loss journey, or like if you're in a fat loss phase, or if you've just started going to the gym, yes, like you probably do want to try and be a little bit more consistent to see results. You've got to have that like initial consistency. So if you're here, there and everywhere while starting to try and lose fat, you're probably going to find it really difficult. You've got to put the groundwork in, you know. Your muscles aren't going to get built unless you really build them, and that's not going to happen like doing a random run here and there and doing a random workout here and there. That's going to maintain your health, that's going to make you feel good about exercise, you're going to have a lovely time. And obviously that's where I am right now. It's really important not to compare yourself. For things to talk about, I actually put a question box on my story today that I'm just going to answer the questions from that to make this a little bit more interesting. Somebody asked, what made you leave Dubai? Well, for the past 2 years, 2.5 years of living in Dubai, Jake and I both stayed pretty much the entire summer. I traveled for 3 weeks both summers, but in the winter Dubai is genuinely perfect. It's got everything you could possibly need. In the summer it's really horrible. You can't do a lot. All you can do is really go to the mall. That's literally all you can do. You can't spend any quality time outside, especially like at any time. Like you would go outside, it's 50, it's 60 degrees, it's humid, it's horrible, it's not very nice. It's a desert, right? Like obviously, and that's fine. But due to Jake's job, like we had to stay there because obviously his job was based there. And I wanted to be with Jake, and then I didn't really want to be apart. So the reason we've left this summer is, as mentioned in the previous couple of videos, like obviously to catch up on people that we've not been able to see, for example Jake's brother, and also to escape the weather. And obviously just like to travel, like why not? And I've just answered this question here. When you go to Ireland, make sure to visit the west and the south rather than just Dublin. Dublin is overpriced and there's so much more to Ireland. Totally agree. Dublin is so expensive. Me and Jake have actually been before. Like it was one of our first holidays together. But again, we're not just like we're not actually like we're not here to travel around, like we're here to just kind of stay and work. We're staying with Jake's family, so it actually isn't costing. How do you become a digital nomad? I guess because I posted a video on my Instagram that said in our digital nomad eras, and basically a digital nomad is somebody who can just work anywhere and like doesn't have a base. I guess like obviously we do have a base, but yes, you can become a digital nomad in so many ways. Like I explained earlier in this video, my job roles, like I just need access to a computer, and so long as I can communicate with my clients, that isn't really they live around the whole wide world anyway, so they're like, it's online, so that's how I'm able to do it. But there are so many jobs that you can do remotely should you wish. But I'm currently on the side of TikTok that is traveling TikTok, and I'm seeing so many different types of people. There's a lot of travel influencers, but there's also like a lot of people that will just work for a few months of the year and then travel for the rest of the year, and I like that. I think that's really cool. I have a family member who does that. They basically just work for a period of time and then go out, adventure, and then get a job in a new place, which is really cool and was one of the reasons that I was inspired to like leave the UK in the first place. But otherwise there is a lot of jobs, so that is it basically. I guess Google digital nomad jobs and see if any of them kind of suit the talents and the skills that you have. Somebody asked if we still have our place in Dubai, and yes we do, because that is our place, like that is our home, that's our house, so yeah, of course we still have it. And somebody's asking how the wedding planning is going, and oh my god, well, it's not really, like we've got the venue booked, and that is it, and I'm a little bit anxious about it because there's so much to do, and obviously like the venue is obviously important in the sense that you've got a location booked, but there's obviously everything else on top of that. But I was actually catching up with one of my clients this week, and she has basically planned a wedding in like 6 months, and she was like, it's fine, don't worry Ailish, like it's actually fine if I can do it in 6 months, you are fine, because we've still got over a year, so we just need to put more time into it. Like if we just basically bullet point all of the tasks that we have to do and try and get through one of them every so often, I think we'll be fine. But so far, how is it going? We've got the venue booked. This is funny because I do the same makeup every single time, and I'm also not very good at makeup, so these almost feel kind of pointless, but it is quite fun. Uh-oh, I've got a little bit of black everywhere. It's kind of fun to do this though, but I feel like I'm so boring. Jake, I've called of you because I was just saying that I'm boring, and I'm kind of trying to like bring you in as backup with something fun to provide, perhaps.
I've got a mustache, so that adds some pizzazz to the old video.
Right, please provide something that I can't.
What have we talked about already?
Talked about like our journeys so far. Talked about some of the questions that people left in my question box.
Did you talk about how excited we are for our new travel bags?
No, I did say though that I do want to maybe do a video on like...
I want to do a review, yeah.
On like what we've packed, but not right now. But I think that could be something to do. But yeah, that's what I've talked about. I've talked about training whilst we're away, eating whilst we're away.
How we're feeling being away from Dubai at the moment. We spoke about that.
No, how are you feeling?
I'm really enjoying the fresh air and the greenery and the cold. So at the minute, obviously, we've only been gone a week today. That's flown. But
so I have, yeah, like a week exactly.
Yeah, so we've only been gone a week today, but to be fair, we've been so busy. It's kind of flown by, and yeah, I'm really, really enjoying traveling and being away. I think the other thing as well is I've not left Dubai since we moved there, on holiday or, you know, travels for family or, you know, anything else we've had to do, and not been really stressed because of having to do work at the same time. Whereas
And also for not longer than like, I think 11 days was the longest trip.
yeah, but that was once, yeah. So
Yeah.
obviously when we moved, it was just as the COVID lockdowns ended. So the first time we came back was a year after we'd moved, and I think it would have been unfair to come back for just a week because, you know, we hadn't seen people and it was just such a wild time. And that first year was so intense, just because we were adapting. We'd moved a couple of times. It was anyway. So yeah, we're fast approaching the longest we've ever been out of Dubai, and I think, I mean, all of last year we didn't really travel. Well, I didn't, and being kept up in the house after the surgery as well. And then preparing to leave because we knew we were leaving for such a long time. So yeah, I'm kind of just soaking it all in. I think one thing that is immediately, you know, at the front of our minds is a work-life balance. I feel like it's much easier to. You don't have to try to have well, you do, but you don't have to try as hard to have a work-life balance during our travels, because, you know, you're not trying to think of things to do to get you out of the house. We're kind of itching to get out and explore, and it's just.
It's easier to focus.
Yeah, I don't think you can underestimate the mental benefits or, you know, enjoyment of spending time with friends and family as well. I think that's something huge. That obviously we you know, we have friends that are
We
like
have
family,
friends, I promise, people like us.
in Dubai, but I think everyone's always working so much that, you know, it's often,
quite stressful to make plans.
yeah, being honest, yeah, it's just from both sides. It's not
100%.
to do with anyone individually. It's just everyone is so busy,
And work
most
always
people-
comes up for people,
yeah,
and then
most people work late.
and you've got to
or
either
self-employed.
have like, so like the easiest way to make plans is also look at this teeny tiny lipstick. It's so stinking cute. Look at it, it's so small. Spontaneous plans are like the easiest,
Yeah,
and
which
I'm the least big fan of spontaneous plans.
yeah, so it ends up being quite tricky. But yeah, I'm just excited to. I think for me, climate's a huge thing. And I just really enjoy being a bit chilly, you know, getting to wear a jumper, and the fresh air. I keep mentioning it because that's the thing that always stands out.
Jake loves the cold.
Yeah.
Can I actually be perfectly candid? Well, I think like it's been like moving country and the job that you did and me building a business and everything that's happened in the past few years, I think it's been really, really difficult to deal with individually and together. And I think it's been really hard on our relationship. And like, I'm also like, and it's fine.
As it would be.
Yeah, like as to be expected. Like if it wasn't hard on our relationship, then
It was not. It's tricky to explain, but obviously it was just a hard period of time, but not for any other reason than, you know,
it's hard to
expect.
work. It would.
Yeah.
It's just hard on life. Like it was hard to exist.
because we went from, like, in a relationship context, pretty much an ideal situation where we were training
We were both
as much as we
students
physically could, students, so
with a lot of free time.
yeah,
and we
well,
spent-
comparatively a lot of free time.
And we had so much free time. We had so much free time. We had no responsibilities.
And the financial stresses were completely different.
and it was just, yeah, like the
But I'd
first.
say that's more of a reflection on. It's just, some people will roll their eyes, but it's just that transition, which was, I think for a lot of people is difficult, but I wouldn't say it's been, obviously it's not been catastrophic. It was
No,
it's
I
just
was
been
saying- I was-
tricky, and I think we've done a lot in a very short period of time because that's the kind of people we are. I think I can't remember who I was saying this to the other day, but I personally want everything right then and there. So I'm happy to.
Oh, shit. It's
What have we done?
I'm just not very good at applying makeup.
So if it's any consolation, neither am I. Yeah, I want everything all at once. So it ends up being a frantic. I can't even think of the word. Life
Well-
ends up being frantic and hectic, trying to make sure that we achieve these things or
But-
do these things in the shortest time frame possible, while also making sense. That makes sense. Probably doesn't.
The reason that I wanted to mention that was, though, just because I already feel so much happier.
Yeah. You don't feel like everything's piling up on top of you, which is weird.
I just feel like I don't know how to describe it.
To be fair, by the way, that's my catchphrase. As is,
I was sitting down and thinking.
nevertheless, as is, for all intents and purposes, I was sitting and thinking.
I was sitting there thinking.
Jake
will say
Jake bingo.
I was sitting there thinking about everything. I was sitting there thinking that, but like you weren't. You were stood up. You weren't
Well, the other
sat
day,
down.
I say the other day, even if it was like 3 years ago. But yeah, there's Jake bingo. Completely lost track of what I was thinking. Oh yeah. I'm trying to say something else, but to be fair, as we were leaving, we had specifically, I felt it, so many things to make sure that were planned and done, completed before we left, because it's a very long period of time and so many things to sort out. And also just the travel plans themselves, making sure that everything was paid for, booked, arranged, any other considerations. So as well, on top of work as well, and in a growth phase in the company. So yeah, it was pretty intense.
Pretty intense.
Pretty
if I could
intense,
just say
not gonna
so
lie.
myself.
I'd say so myself. But yeah, I think that's what's made it more worth it though. Oops.
Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry.
But it's the same with all of the things we've done in the last, round it up, 3 years. Well, actually, don't round it up.
2.5.
Perfect 3 years, because we finished our degrees around about this time last year.
I actually
Not last
submitted
year,
my
3 years
dissertation
ago.
in November.
Yeah, but you'd finished the rest of it.
I'd finished the rest of it.
But yeah, so everything that's been achieved over the last 3 years is been in such a short time frame for what it was, and yeah, I just feel relieved. I think this is the first time that we're in a more comfortable pace, but
Yes,
I just know that
just
we're gonna
wanna end
pile it back on again, which is I think it's fun in a sense. I think it'll be fun because it will be entirely dictated by our.
By our what?
I don't know. I can't concentrate. You're digging my eye hole out. It would be entirely dictated by our own kind of volition. We aren't under time constraints to do things. The only time constraints are the ones that we have for fixed dates and payments of that kind of thing. After that, it's
Yeah, we're not working to any deadlines.
like.
That is
So
so
we were
nice.
looking at each other. Forgot about the camera.
Anyways, we'll round it up because I don't want this to be as long as the last
I
one.
like it being squared. You can take that bit out.
Anyways,
So we're gonna round it off.
thank you for watching this random
Rounding off.
chatty get ready with me. Do you want to say something to finish?
Let us know. Wait. I'd be interested to know whether everyone feels like this. That kind of feeling of constantly chasing your tail, especially in that transitionary period between, it doesn't have to be uni, it could be between large, changes in career, it could be changing country, moving country, can be, probably, I'd imagine, you feel very similar having had children or, other big life changes.
And I guess, share that, because like definitely know that it's normal, I'd say.
Or whether you feel like you try and do everything all at once, because
that would give Jake
wonder.
peace of mind. But thank you so much for watching the video. We'll be excited to catch up with you soon and see you in the next one.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.